coming off that first weekend, how do you think the team looked?
Looking back, I thought we did some really good things. I mean, we're, as coaches, you're always wanting to be a little farther ahead. I think anytime this time of year, you also have to kind of check to see what we've been able to accomplish, in a short time in preseason. So overall, pleased. It's great to be 2-0 against two really good teams. And that first game in particular, New Mexico, was a really tough game out of the gate. So we know we have to get better. The guys, performance-wise, they know it too, that there needs to be improvements, and we'll look at things really heavy each week to get better, and that's what the mentality is.
What has to improve right now? What are some of those things you have to improve on?
Well, I thought some simple decision-making and just some of our passing. So somewhat the simplest. Mm-hmm. I thought our shape and overall defensive principles were good. So it was, it's tough to say, and halftime guys just pass the ball better because they don't lose it. It's just there was some awareness and just quality of that final pass. And part of it, it is a different grass, a different environment. It's happened a lot up there, mm-hmm. open the year. So there's a bit of a trend. So I know what they can do, but again, the quality and how we were able to get a few more sequences together, I think, was one of the things we were really focusing on.
Mm-hmm. Aside from the field itself, what's maybe some of the advantages of coming back home this week?
Well, if our fans, these guys are so excited to play in front of their fans, and one of the things they really want to do is take this home field and really make it a special place. And I think we've made it hard for teams, but find that extra edge to come away. I think our basketball team did a phenomenal job of setting the tone of what home field advantage needs to be, and they're excited to play. These are two incredible opponents. The way we're starting this year, but they're up for that. They like it. So we have to be really good, and I think they're going to enjoy a little bit cooler weather and playing on our Bermuda where it's fast and help the passing a bit.
When you made the schedule, did you anticipate a Stanford coming in here as a defending national champion?
No, I would be lying to you if we knew that at the time, because we do it a little bit of timeout. But we knew that Pac-12 has done a really nice job of being competitive front to back, and Stanford's been on the rise. And we thought it'd be two really good opponents from out of region. And Cal has been here before. Stanford has not. I've been for a lot of years, actually. I played against Stanford when I was an athlete, but it's been a while. So two really good opponents, and it's going to be a fun weekend.
Going back to last weekend, probably Tanner, if anybody, really seemed like he played up to expectations. How key is it for him to get off to a good start? I know maybe the last couple of years it's been a little bit of a slow start for him.
Yeah, I think getting a goal early is important for anyone in the attacking half. And Tanner's, he's got a lot of responsibility that he's put on his shoulders this year, and he's come in the most ever prepared and on and off the field. It's the best shape he's been on. He's really taking care of his body, and he's fine-tuning it. And he knows how important this year is for him and the team. So I was happy to have a little success. Really does help, give you some confidence. But I just love the way. He got tired, but we played him, 90 minutes on Friday, and he didn't waver much, and that's really difficult for what he does on the field.
Has he gotten better just at not putting too much pressure on himself and just sort of blending into the game a little bit?
I think so. I think this year he knew that, the scoring last year at times wasn't where we wanted it, and he wanted to take responsibility and help. So again, the goals early will help him kind of ease, but he's not forcing the game. He's not trying to do too much in the zone. He knows there's good teammates to play with. He's in a really good place, and he's got to continue this performance. He was really good, and there was a couple others that had A performances throughout the weekend. Others were kind of in and out of their a big range. So that's the good news, to be 2-0 and not play even close to our potential at this point.
Played 6 or 7 guys off the bench both games. What'd you maybe learn about depth and those kind of things?
I don't know if we got tons solved. I would love to have a little bit more. I think the game on Friday presented some different options, tactically challenges, I should say, and so we used maybe some that we maybe wouldn't have used we didn't use on Sunday, and then this game on Friday, I think the rotation might be more situational at this point, based on what the team needs, because every player we have in some of our wide areas in particular has a different strength, and that's good though, but it's hard to kind of get a systematic this is our rotation at this point until some guys take a hold a little bit more. And even then, there'll be some challenges, whether it's size we need in the field, whether it's composure or a little energy. Everyone has a little bit different ability. And that's nice to have as a coach to look down the bench and say, okay, we need this. We just need that consistency. They're going to bring it when we put them in.
What did you see out of Jeremiah this weekend? How do you kind of see him fitting in the squad as the season moves on?
I think Jeremiah's going to play a huge role. I mean, I think for Jeremiah, he'd be the first to say he didn't have his best weekend overall, but he still was really effective. And we have really high expectations for him, only still into his sophomore year and not starting last year. So we have to temper it a little bit because I think we're putting a lot of pressure's not the word, but we're expectation of a standard. And he did a lot of good things. But again, for him, his passing is one of the keys, and he was one that wasn't as sharp. And those central balls are so important, whether it's to start an attack or as we break through and transition to make the proper pass. And he was a little bit, for Jeremiah, a little bit off at times. But he's done phenomenal, and I expect him to have a really good weekend.
How much do you look at rankings? You guys moved up into the top 5. Does that? I'm sure it means a lot to the team, but how much do you really look at them and take them into consideration?
We don't. I mean, honestly, that's people think that's coach speak, whatever. It really doesn't matter right now. It's flattering. It's nice to be recognized, but every game's so difficult. You'll see in college soccer this year. You had a couple teams go 0-2 that are in the top 10. And they played good teams, but not necessarily teams in the top 20, and they're 0-2. So you can't put much stock into it. This group, New Mexico was unranked, and I was a really good team. They'll be ranked as the season goes on. They're going to win a lot of games. So, we just want to take care of the results. And again, if you get caught up in where you are in rankings, that you're in a place that's it's really somewhat out of your control, because we only can control where we sit, and wherever the voters or committee sees it, it's where it is at this point.
What is the scouting report on Cal? What do they do well? What could you exploit potentially?
Cal's a really good attacking team. They're going to be very fluid. They'll send some numbers forward. Defensively, they'll get very much in a good block. But offensively, they'll be fluid and one that will have to be very aware of interchanging bodies and creativity off the dribble. So our principles, which we are very proud of and work a lot, I think will be key. And they have some guys that can break you down. So really, really nice team. Cal, I thought, was one that was a little bit unfortunate last year not to be a team that was a potential deep tournament team based on what I had seen and talking to coaches. So this team's a handful. So we'll be ready for that.